Have you ever wondered what the journey from a six-figure agency to a seven-figure agency looks like? What happens along the way? What kind of struggles and obstacles do you hit? What does that look like from growing from a one-man band, the one-man show, okay, into a 5 or even 10-person team? What does that look like? Okay, well, we got just the treat for you if you're interested in that, okay? One of our members of our Master Hackers Mastermind and Mentorship program, John Victoria, he goes through his entire journey from beginning to end, what it looks like from the dynamic from his team changing and how he was able to exit kind of that mindset of having to do everything himself, okay? Now, if you like content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, like the video. Also, hey, if you have any questions for us or John, make sure you ask them below in the comments, okay? Now, stay tuned for a word from our sponsors. After that, we'll check out that video, okay? By the way, if you still haven't joined our free Facebook group, make sure you go on over to Facebook and check that out. In there, we're going to interview 6- and 7-figure agency owners. We're going to have exclusive trainings each and every week. And then also you get one-on-one interaction with myself, JC Height, and the entire Digital Agency Hacker team. Looking forward to seeing you over there.
Yeah, so prior to agency life, it was a completely different direction I was heading in. At the time, I was actually at the Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy. I was in training to be a naval officer. I was following the footsteps of my dad and all my uncles who had been 20 plus years in the Navy. I was there. I was a part of that process. But I always felt like there was something that was missing, and I disliked having to be told what to do all the time. And I kind of was searching for something that could enable me to do my own thing. And so, I started a few ventures. One was I tried to do mobile websites. At the time, mobile friendliness was big. I think I'd try to do something around, this is funny. I thought that it would be a smart idea to be a life coach, and I was 18 years old at the time. No one wanted to take life coach advice from an 18-year-old. I was just putting stuff out there. And eventually
That's
I landed.
That's a Gary V meme. It's the 18-year-old life coach thing. We're talking about John the whole time.
I got one or two clients. Yeah, it was embarrassing because the mentor was like, John, no one wants to get life, you haven't experienced life yet. So super embarrassing. But I eventually I hopped into this course, OMG Machines. I'm still well connected with all those guys. Mike Long, David Mills, Greg Morrison. I've attended a number of their events, and that's how I got my started with SEO. And so it was 3 years into my training, and I ended up ranking my own website locally for best Alexandria SEO expert as a long tail keyword. But for me, that was proof enough that I was actually able to rank a website. And so I said, F it, I'm going down this path. You know what? I'm young, and considering the opportunity cost is I'd have to stay in for 5 years if I decided to go down the military route. So I decided to get out and see in the next 5 years, I think I could do something in the next 5 years. And so 5 years later, that's going to be this August. So it's crazy. That's how I got my initial start, a completely different life. But I'd say a lot of the leadership lessons and managing a team and, leaders eat last, a lot of those concepts bled into how I lead my agency today. So that's how I got started. Yeah, great question. It was just general, and it took a big mental shift for me to decide to niche down. You'd always hear in the beginning, as you go through, I was going through all these courses in the beginning, hey, you should really niche down. But in the beginning, you'll take whatever you can get. But now that I've been transitioning over, it's easier to message to our specific clientele. You know where to focus, you know where to market. I've joined the associations, ACA, the big Air Conditioner Contractors of America, and getting involved with that. So just niching down has simplified our process and our marketing. So I'm loving it. Yeah, it's a great question. I'd say that for the past 4 to 5 years, I mean, we did strictly focus on SEO. And the reason why is that just like talking to other agency owners, understanding, you know, like how it's delivered and understanding what we understood about SEO, like it was just like our bread and butter and it's what we could easily do. But I'd say that I had a philosophy shift this year, which is why we expanded out our services. And I was at this marketing workshop. It was with this organization called Entrepreneur Organizations Accelerator. So basically they help take companies past $1 million. And there was a guy giving a marketing workshop. And, you know, he was just like talking about your ideal client profile. And I was like, oh, I've already heard all this stuff. Like, you know, whatever. Like, I know this stuff. But like at a certain point in his presentation, he got to the point where he asked, you know, a question of like, don't think about your services, don't think about your products, but for your client profile, how can you deliver the most amount of value to them? And then I just had like this realization moment. I was like, wow, you know, I've been offering SEO for all this time. And it's like, I've been trying to fit a solution to their problem versus understanding their problem deeply and producing a solution. And so that's where the shifts happened, where that's why now we're looking into helping source candidates for the HVAC industry, given that, you know, there's a study that said of, I think it was about 300 HVAC owners. And they said that over the next 10 years, that's going to be one of their biggest problems. So expanding the offering from just SEO, we've shifted that because we want to offer more value to our customer versus the other way around. Like, oh, I'm an agency owner and I have the best solution. So it's like flip the problem on its head. Yeah, for that, honestly, we weren't the main people like doing that research. We just connected with our associations. So ACA, Air Conditioning Contractors of America, they produce a financial report every single year, polling all of their members. And so they grab things such as what's their financial data, you know, how much are they charging for these particular services? What is their profit margin? What is their gross? What is what is their biggest problem that they're facing? And so for me, I was like, why would I recreate the research that they're already doing? And if I can just, you know, buy into it was like $150, and I got into the minds and the insights of this organization or the clientele that I'm looking to serve. And so for me, that's what I did. I dug into the numbers, and you know, I also got some client conversations going. One of our clients, they are part of a bigger portfolio of HVAC companies. And so I spoke to their Mid-Atlantic marketing manager, and she shared with me some of the issues and concerns that her portfolio of 15 HVAC clients are facing. And so that also was helpful to better understand, like, what do we need to focus on and what will serve these types of clients. Let me think. Other strategic things. I'd say that maybe not specifically within the industry, but I'd say that a big reason why we focused on SEO for so long was that it allowed us to partner with other agencies a lot easier, where they would kind of like white label, or they would just directly refer to us. And so like we had a lot of web developers and, you know, people who might do PPC. And so we weren't in conflict, and we would send business their way. And so I'd say that the relationships we developed would be mainly through like other agencies, and that was super helpful for our growth. For the hiring, I got lucky because, I mean, the folks that I brought on, they were already connected within a network, and I'd worked with them in the past. And so this is my team based in the Philippines. So we'd worked with them with another agency. And so, it was very easy. Everyone knew each other. And so the hiring process was very, very, very seamless. I'd say that we were able to bring everyone on in like, I think definitely less than a month. And these are people that already knew each other pretty well. And so there's a good chemistry between everyone. The first thing that we're rolling out, and this is for our team in the Philippines. So we have, I think 11 team members right now. 10 of them are in actually 9 of them in the Philippines, 1's in Pakistan, I'm in the US. But for our team in the Philippines, we're rolling out benefits to the entire team. So it's Pag-ibig, SSS, which is Social Security, and PhilHealth, which is like health insurance. And I'm really excited about this because I typically don't see this offered for team members in the Philippines.
And so the challenge with that, and if you don't have your team on an actual payroll with a company in the Philippines, is that it's difficult for them to build financial freedom for themselves. Especially if you're just like paying through some sort of a platform, if you're just paying through PayPal. And so I'm excited about this because for our team, they're responsible for building out the company the way that it is today and the trajectory we're going. And I want to make sure that they have financial freedom in their lives too. So those benefits, it's very affordable to provide these benefits. And so I'm really excited for that as initiative number one. Second one is, and this is an initiative we're working on with you all. Well, we're about done with building out a new snapshot for hiring. So, I mentioned earlier, like helping source the HVAC technicians. So we have a nice automated follow-up system with texts and emails and voicemail drops that's being built out that'll help people source those candidates, since it is such a competitive space right now. There's just a demographics issue where the average age of someone in the HVAC industry is about 55. And most of them are going to retire in the next 10 years, and there's not enough people coming into the industry. So I feel like talent is going to be scarce, and so I'm really excited about that because it's a new component that we're building out. And then third thing I'd say is just we're building out a component of the business where we're bringing on a lot of new team members. So one that we just hired. One is an account manager. Second is a new executive assistant. And so I had been the primary account manager since we started the business, and so putting myself finally more into the visionary seat versus being day to day, that's something I'm really excited about in terms of initiatives for the company. So that's
awesome, man.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm so glad that you stayed here till the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave those in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a lot more amazing content just for you. And if you have any questions or specific types of things that you want to learn or resources, make sure that you let us know below in the comments, and be sure to check out our fire Facebook group for agency owners, the Digital Agency Hacker on Facebook. Now, looking forward to seeing you on the next video. See you soon.